Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Is Angele Rayner the thickest Deputy Prime Minister that this country's ever had? And it would appear that it is so. I mean, she gave an interview on Sky News on Sunday when Trevor Phillips asked her point blank if the new homes she was going to be built, she keeps saying she was going to be built, were either for migrants or British people. And she couldn't say, she couldn't give a straight answer. She kept dancing around the question. And we all know the answer to this, don't we? Yes, they are going to be for migrants. I mean, if they can't build homes, then there must be some empty homes somewhere, and we all know what's going to happen. They're going to be put in them. They're going to be prioritised over our own people. That's what Rayner says is going to happen. But of course, she, like I've said, she kept dancing around the question. She kept avoiding the question every time Trevor Phillips asked her the question. She couldn't answer. But everybody knows what's going to happen. I mean, if they eventually do build homes for migrants, we all know what's going to happen. They're all going to be built for migrants. They won't be built for British people. We can get the back of the queue. We can wait at the back of the queue. Then the migrants are going to be the ones who are going to be prioritised. I mean, it just shows you, doesn't it, how thick she is. And yesterday in Parliament, she was answering questions. She couldn't answer the questions because she kept looking down on the scripted answers. She couldn't look the opposition MPs in the face and, you know, answer the questions without having them written for her. She couldn't. She's an embarrassment. She's an embarrassment. How Keir Starmer made her Deputy Prime Minister, I do not know. What was he thinking? What was he thinking making her Deputy Prime Minister? She's a complete and utter disaster. Mind you, come to think of it, this government is a complete disaster. I mean, they're all a bunch of thickos. They're all a bunch of thickos in government. We've got Air Miles Keir. He's off on his travels again, out of the country again. Then you've got useless David Lammy. He says Libya is next door to Syria. And then we've got clueless Cooper, who says she was promised to give police money. And I read on the net yesterday that the police are going to have to make cuts. So, I mean, this is ridiculous. What has this country voted for? A bunch of idiots. A bunch of thickos. They shouldn't be in government. I mean, Angele Rayner, she shouldn't be a Deputy Prime Minister. She's out of her depth and out of her league. She's simply clueless of what she's doing. She hasn't got a clue. Oh, and let's not forget the Queen of Economics, Rachel of Accounts Reeves. Let's not forget her as well. She's a financial wizard, isn't she? But like I said, we've got this country. I don't know what the voters were thinking of voting for this lot. I mean, look what's happened in the 5 months they've been in. It's complete and utter disaster. It's a shit show. That's what it is, a complete shit show. This country is becoming a laughingstock. Goodness knows what other world leaders think of us when they see the goings on in this country. I'm laughing at us. I mean, but like I said, going back to Rayner, she's thicker than two short planks, isn't she? She hasn't got a clue. every time she's interviewed, you can see the panic in her face. She's panicked. She panics. She doesn't know what to say. Whoever is interviewing her, she doesn't know what to say. Trevor Phillips, he just destroyed her on Sunday morning on Sky News. He just destroyed her. She didn't know where to. She squirmed. She didn't know where to put herself. You see, the mainstream media seem to be finally asking the tough questions of this government, and they don't seem to have any answers, do they, this government? They've got no answers. I mean, I don't know how much longer they're going to last. It'll be surprised me if they can last the 5 years the way things are going. I don't think they will. But like I said, it's just comical. I mean, Starmer, the way he's going, he's going to end up like Assad of Syria, who's fled Syria and gone to live in Moscow, has been given asylum in Moscow. Starmer wants to be very careful, because if he carries on like he does, he's going to be find himself in exile. And the rest of his idiot ministers will be joining him in exile. So, but Rayner, I mean, what planet is she on? What planet is she on? I mean, goodness knows what she's how she became Deputy Prime Minister, I do not know. What was Starmer thinking, giving her making her Deputy Prime Minister? Mind you, she's a lefty, so the left have got to get a foothold, haven't they, in government? Because if he didn't make her Deputy Prime Minister, she would have one of her many tantrums she has. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Mr. Politics here signing off. And remember, don't believe the lies.